Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. So I want to investigate this little problem. So let's pretend like this problem has been reported or logged by a software tester or keyway, and the problem is that the product ID or the product is coming up with a null price, and we need the price to be cut. So this will be like one of the problems that we can imagine that a user, a software tester, will log, or that the price is coming up as a null. Now when we go through, we track what the problem is through the cart. So this is where the problem is coming from. This is where the problem, when we make a call, either this or that one, it doesn't really matter which endpoint, is coming up as a null. The price is coming up as a null, and we want more than that. So we need to investigate if I've done something wrong in the code or something. So when we track the controller here, we come down to get card by username. When we get the card by username, this is the method that we come down to. So if you go into this method, then this is the method that we are using, and in this method we are also using, we want to get the price, but the price is 0. And the other method that when I looked at the add order, when I looked at this method, we are making use of that method, this one, fetch product by product ID. So I wanted to track the product ID from that particular method to see what it is that we are returning, right? And when this is the cart application, and when we track it, we get this message, which is basically this message, right? Which is saying that the product with ID 2 has a null price. And I think I put that one there to give me a warning to return back to it, because you know, I said that the code that I have is not fully functionable, right? So there will be bugs to fix, and it's a good idea because we can look at it and see what's happening. And then we are saying return if it is a null. We say we log this message and then return this, right? And then I've just added this info because I want to get more information of what response body we are getting. So hopefully this will work, or it might come up with an error, I don't know. So let me run the cart application again, and then we're going to add the cart, and then we will descend it down to the bit where we do the get and see what is it that we need to use, which field that we need to use to get the price. And I think when we add a product to a cart, we are essentially buying the product with the buy now price. That is what we are buying. So that's the field details we need to get. So I've got the cart running. Let me just go here and let me just pretend like I want to add a cart. So I want to add something to the cart, right? And at the moment it says 0. So okay, let me just log in and go back to cart. Let me add it to a cart. It still says 0. I just want to see what it is that I'm gonna get from the printout when it comes. So it still says 0. Product details in cart service is this. Price is a null. Description is a null. It seems like the product ID, the response returns the product ID correctly, but everything else coming seems to be a null. So definitely something is not right somewhere, which I need to go deeper and return. It could be the endpoint, this endpoint, which is the product service URL endpoint, which we are using at the very top here, we are using the client of product, right, which is this one. And this client, we've already created it. We've put that details in there. Now it could be that I'm missing something easy, because here I'm just passing the URL, and we are saying that, right, go into this URL and /ID. Yeah, now if we go into here, I'm not sure if I've already created a get product by ID. Let's check what we have here. Okay, let's get a product by the ID. So we got product /ID, and is that the endpoint we want to get to here? /ID, that's the endpoint. Let's use something like this one. Let's use that one. Get product by the ID, and we want ID1. Okay, so we got the product by the ID. I need to update this because I don't want quantity to be float or is it decimal. I don't want that, but we've got the product by the ID. So when we get a product by the ID, there is no price here. It's just the product ID and the quantity. Let's go back here. We got product ID, product name, and that we're not bringing it. So we need to go into that particular method and see if we can add more info and see if we can return that more info. And then in turn, we will look at others and see what's happening, why we don't want this thing, right? We want more than that. All right, so checking it back and tracking it back to product services, I found that I'm only just passing in the response product ID and quantity, so that's why probably it's not going through. So if you look at the product cart response, which is this one, and the product cart response, we are just passing the product and ID and the quantity. So I guess I want more than that, right? So if I was to go back to the cart service, I'm just being silly, and then the cart service, and then let's say cart response, item response, we want price as well, not the total price, but we want price as well. I know this is gonna cause problem, but price, because the total price will be when we calculate the quantity. Okay, we want price as well. Go into the cart response, we want price, not total price. The total price is after we calculate. You see, when you do these things, you don't really think about it. The cart request, the cart. Okay, maybe this is not important so bad, but we know that we want the price, and the price we want when we are adding something to the cart. If somebody bid on an item, they win the item, the price will be different, isn't the price will be bidding price. Okay, so if we go to the product response or product request, one of them, no, not that one. Okay, we are in the cart, sorry. If we go back to product, I know I'm supposed to be searching for it, but I'm doing this way, and I won't recommend you to do it that way. It's not right. But if we were to take a look at we want to take a look at product response. In the product response, see all the stuff that we have buyNowPrice, so that should be the price that should go into the cart, right? So let me just copy that one, or let me just copy the whole thing actually. And then we want but when we do bid on an item, the price is different. We got a bidding price as well, which I probably haven't differentiated in here, but but anyway, the buy now price is basically what we want. So let me just see if I can just go back. So I don't want to say buy now price, let's just leave that as price. But the return that we want to return, which is basically in the cart, let's go back to cart, product request, and then this is the price. And then we found that the problem was the amount that we were sending, right? So I think we should fix it all the way back in product, right? We should fix it all the way back in product. Where unfortunately, guys, I need to end the video here, and I'm gonna we're gonna have to pick it up in the next video, because it's going to prolong onto like it will be too much. So I've run out of time, so we will continue the video on the next video. Okay, see you then.